Greetings and welcome to episode 19 of the Aligned Alchemy Podcast. And what I am bringing as a point of discussion today, because it was something that came up for me just a couple of weeks ago. And when you have the awareness, you will begin to see this everywhere in your life. So what am I talking about? I am talking about power. And more specifically, your personal power. Where do you leak it? Where do you give it away all the time in life? Because as you're listening to this now, I can guarantee you have given it away today. Like you have given it away yesterday, you may have given it away several times today. And the really important thing here is the emphasis on me saying you have given it away. Because this is the thing with your power. Nobody can take it from you. You make the choice to give it away. So you have personal power. You come to this planet with personal power. And then through agreements that you make, through identities and labels that are given to you, through like a million ways, throughout your day, throughout your life, you leak that power, you leak that personal power. So to bring it back to the example that I just said, one of the ways that we do this is getting into fear about many things. The example for me a couple of weeks ago, I'm laughing because as soon as I was aware of it, I was like, that's ridiculous. And I moved my attention. Is fear of judgment or fear of getting it wrong. Like, what if I'm doing it wrong? Oh no, as soon as you start getting into that, you are beginning to give away your personal power. Any personal power that you have reclaimed or that you have kept within you to build into doing other things, you begin to leak. So for me, it was after I recorded one of these podcast episodes and I'm looking through the dashboard and I was like, oh, that one's only like 10 minutes long. Well, can I do that? Can I do a 10-minute long podcast? Like the rest of them are around 20 minutes. Like, what will people think? Will people think it's weird that there's only, and as soon as that kind of head chatter comes up, I stop it immediately because I know when I do that, when I get into fear of what will others think, am I doing it the right way? That is a sure sign that it's like that leaking ball. There's a hole in my inflatable ball and I am beginning to leak my power. And that is just one of several ways that you may do it during the day. So the importance on nobody takes it from you. You have to agree to give up your personal power. Now, if you're anything like most people, myself included, I walked around in victim mode for years, feeling hard done to, like so-and-so did this to me and they did that and this happened and this caused this, and all in my victimhood, all in not maintaining, not keeping my power. I formed an agreement that I would give my power to other people. So while I'm over here getting all like bitter and twisted and frustrated and angry about how people are taking my power, what was truly happening was I was putting it in a box, wrapping it in a bow and giving it to people like, here, take my power, have all of my power. Somebody else, I have some power left. Anybody else want some? Here, have some of my power. Somebody cuts you up in traffic and you might think a certain kind of way. You might say some words at them. You might use some hand gestures. There you go. You've just leaked some of your personal power. So when you begin to look at your entire day structure, when you look at what happens from the moment you open your eyes, from the moment you wake up, how many ways and where are you doing this with yourself? Where are you leaking your energy? Does it come to the end of the day and you're like, oh, I'm utterly exhausted? How many times does that happen to you? And it's because you are giving away so much of yourself. Every time you put your energy and attention into these things, you are leaking and giving away that personal power. Now, the reason why this is so important is because without personal power, you cannot create anything. Or I should more clearly say, without personal power, you cannot create anything that will last. You may create something, but it will slip through your fingers like sand running through your fingers. You will not be able to create anything of substance because you have nothing left in you to give. So when you have those days or those weeks, months, years, right? When you are like exhausted, you have nothing left to give of yourself. It's because you have made this agreement to give away your power to others. Another interesting thing, when you call back in your power, when you reclaim your power for yourself, it doesn't mean that you're taking power from others. You are not making others less powerful by standing in your own power. I had this happen with a family member when I was saying about reclaiming personal power and becoming like more and more powerful. And they asked the question like, what does your husband think of this? What does he think about you being all powerful? And it's like, he thinks it's amazing because when you stand in your power, it doesn't make somebody that stands with you less powerful. It allows them the opportunity to stand in their power too. So a really strong, a really powerful person stands as the source of their own power. You don't take it from somebody else, you just call back in your own power. Now, the weaker people will allow you, because I can't say they will take the power from you, but they will allow you to give them their power, and then they will use your power as a sustainable energy source for them. But when you call back in your power to yourself, you aren't making other people powerless. It is their choice to then call back in their power from where they have released it throughout the day. So as you're going, I mean, this is a topic I could go on for like 3 hours about, seriously, because when you begin to understand this and you begin to put the pieces together and you see like, oh, there we go again. Oh, leak my power over there. Oh, leak my power over there. Like when you get entangled in things, when you give away your energy, when you give away your power to situations, to conversations, to things that happen, you will begin to see things differently. Your whole day will begin to look differently because as soon as that alarm goes off, what are your first thoughts? Do you give gratitude for waking up for the day? Are you like, I have to do this. There you go. You just leaked some of your personal power. So in what ways can you stay in gratitude? What ways can you not get entangled with things that don't pertain to you? What ways can you allow other people to have their experience of life without you needing to control it, without you needing to judge it, without you needing to jump in and save? What ways can you stop being a victim and take responsibility for reclaiming your personal power because nobody took it from you? You made an agreement to give it away. And the beautiful thing about that is that you can now make an agreement to reclaim it. You can take back your power and you can bring that power back into you, and then you can utilize that to create things as a force for positivity. You can use it to create things as a force of light in your life, in your world, to assist others. Can you do all of these things if you're leaking your power all day? What does that leave you by the end of the day? How does that leave you feeling? Are you able to create things from that state of depletion? So how would life look for you if each day the first thing to do is bring your awareness to it and not get into judgment. I have to say that. But when you're aware, something happens, you're like, oh, I hate it when they do that. You just leaked your power. And then you go, but that's okay, because now I have the awareness that when this happens, I give away my power, I leak my energy. So then the next time it happens, maybe you'll be aware of it much quicker, or maybe you'll even have the awareness to stop it happening before it even comes to pass. So it's all about having that awareness of when it is happening. You could keep a tally chart going through your day, like, how many times do I lose my personal power today? How many times do I give it away? How much of my power am I giving away freely to others and into the world? And then you will start to have this awareness when you become the observer of yourself and just watch how you interact in the world. Watch all the times that you're triggered, all the times that others annoy you, all the times that you get into anger or into certain kind of things that you're just like, ugh. Whenever you're getting into that, leaked your personal power. And how would life look when you reclaim that? When you stand in your personal power? When you allow yourself to really feel the force of that? Because in my experience, what people are often avoiding is the powerfulness that is in them already. People are often afraid of their own power. So it has become habitual to give it away, and that begins to feel comfortable. And the question I am often asked is like, when I start taking that power back, what if I can't control it? What if it's too much for me? What if I don't know what to do with all the power? It's like, but what if it's the most amazing thing that's ever happened? What if you really become who you came to this planet to be? What if you create amazing things? What if you change lives? So we cannot build our lives on these what if fear factors. We must move towards building our lives on what if and then creating positive scenarios, because the fact is, whenever you go into what if, it's an unknown. So you don't know what's going to happen. So why not create the story that it's going to be something positive, something that's going to bring more abundance, more light into your world and into the world around you, and move towards that? Because if you don't know which way it's going to be, create towards the positive one is always the way to flow, because we are creating stories in our lives every day. So make it something that works for you. You just do it that way. So rather than being unsure of how things will look when you begin to reclaim your personal power, I would ask you to look at how things look now while you're giving it away. Do you have everything in your life already that you already wished for? Do you have everything, all the relationships, all the self-love, all the abundance? Is everything like tickety-boo? Like, this is exactly what I wanted in my life. Is everything running so-called perfectly for you? And if it's not, begin to examine in your life. Soon as that alarm goes off, observe yourself. Watch where you give away your power. And then you have the awareness to be able to reclaim that and not give it away anymore. And I will say again, nobody takes your power. You choose to give it away. So when you have this awareness, it now becomes very, very powerful for you to call back in that power, reclaim what has always been yours. You will not make anybody else powerless. You will not make them less powerful. You will just call back in, reclaim your personal power. It has always been yours. It has always been with you. So isn't it about time that you stopped giving it away and you started to look at your life and see what is possible when you fully reclaim that power and stand in it? And what could you create from that place? That is where we want to be working from.